Licensed games have way more misses than hits, but some concepts are too good not to make the jump to games. Kandagawa Jet Girls has you playing as cute anime girls in bikinis with guns on jet skis in Mario Kart style races. Yeah, sounds pretty good. Let's see if it's as perfect as it sounds. I'm Adam Scott, and this is Kandagawa Jet Girls. Released back in 2019, the Kandagawa Jet Girls anime had 13 episodes that felt suspiciously tailor-made for a video game, with rival schools packed with attractive anime girls competing for jet racing supremacy. With all the high production values and story as the anime, it's almost as if the game was developed at the same time. Because it was. The Kandagawa Jet Girls game was developed by Honey Parade Games and released in 2020 on PC and PS4. Equal parts visual novel and over-the-water kart racer, the developer wanted something different from the typical RPG or Warriors-like style most commonly associated with anime fanservice games. Now, the fanservice is downplayed from the anime, instead focusing on the core racing action, the character relationships, and the story, which is surprisingly deep about the rival schoolgirls competing for jet racing glory, all told through visual novel sequences. Each of the girls has a distinct personality and motivations. So if you're a fan of the series or a die-hard racing game story enthusiast, this is probably your jam. But I wouldn't be surprised if most people just skip past them. What I was surprised by was the quality of these scenes. No joke, these were some of the best visual novel scenes in any game, full stop. Each character gets a chance to shine with sharp writing, great voice acting, detailed and expressive character designs, all fully animated. Now, some may say they're a bit too animated, but I disagree. And that quality is carried throughout the gameplay.
3, 2, 1, start!
Here's where the rubber meets the road, or the water meets the boat? I don't know. But the racing is frankly quite a bit better than I was expecting. Each jet machine has both a jetter and a gunner, with both roles controlled at once. The racing is a mix of kart racing and combat, feeling somewhat like a mix of Mario Kart Double Dash and Wave Racer. You'll drift around corners, build your boost meter, and use ramps to pull off tricks for completing objectives and gaining perks. The controls feel great, tight, responsive, and just floaty enough to feel right over the water. However, it's disappointingly locked at 30 frames a second even on PS5, keeping the game from feeling as fast and punchy as other games in the genre. Each gunner has a base weapon, which is fairly weak, but other than a brief cooldown, is always available. By passing over these icons, you pick up one of the 8 more powerful weapons, ranging from sniper rifles to assault rifles, rocket launchers, and more, all of which look like tricked out super soakers. Super soakers that can kill, or at least stun the other racers. Filling this gauge lets you boost, or you can fill it all the way to use power-ups like homing missiles, tornadoes, a super shield, and more. Popping balloons, hitting enemies, passing through these rings all fill the gauge. So in addition to racing well, you'll always be looking for opportunities to fill the gauge. Each race in the story mode has 3 objectives, one of which is to get first place. But how you do that is where the other 2 objectives come in, like not using a weapon, pulling off a certain variety of tricks, not hitting the walls, that type of thing. Achieving the objectives unlocks cosmetics and performance-improving upgrades. You'll also earn points for your performance that you can use to purchase the unlocked items. For the most part, achieving these objectives every time is fairly easy to do, and that's probably the biggest knock against the gameplay. The story mode is just too easy without the ability to adjust it. You'll often find yourself 10 to 20 seconds ahead of the next team. Balancing difficulty in a racing game is like walking a tightrope. Too difficult and it feels unfair. Too easy and there's no challenge. And generally the challenge is lacking here. Now there are other modes that fix this altogether, but they're not available at the start. Once unlocked, you can take part in free races, time attacks, and online multiplayer. Free races let you control the parameters of given races, adjusting the difficulty, number of laps, and more. This is a great way to really dial in how you want to play. Similarly, time trials let you race against the clock in a single lap of an already unlocked event. And of course, online multiplayer lets you compete against other players, but Unsurprisingly, there's no one online, making the lack of couch co-op all the more painful. That should be a standard in any racing game. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about the extracurricular activities menu. Yeah, so you can play these 4 different minigames: a soapy jet ski wash using rhythm controls, a treadmill run where you try to catch these hearts by mashing buttons, mopping the deck while avoiding obstacles, and a stunt ramp mode where you can practice aerial techniques. Nothing's groundbreaking here, but they're a fun little diversion and a good way to get more points that you can use for buying upgrades. And holy crap, there's a lot of them! Upgrades are either cosmetic or performance, and you'll unlock them as you play, but you'll still need points to actually buy them. For the girls, you can change their outfits, hairstyles, add new accessories, and more. I appreciated that any changes to their appearance are not only reflected when racing, but in all of the cutscenes as well. For the jet machines, you can change the colors, patterns, and decals, but the real fun for me here was adding new parts to eke out more performance, increasing the power, improving the steering, and even adding weapon slots. There's a ton of options available. But you can't just create an overpowered behemoth with every upgrade installed. Each machine has a limited amount of space, so you'll have to prioritize the upgrades you want. Having played a game or two with sexy fan service at its core, I've come to expect a certain level of quality. Usually there are some sacrifices, whether a generic art style lacking in detail, stiff or reused animations, or performance problems, you expect a certain level of cheapness. So when booting up Kandagawa Jet Girls and seeing the consistently excellent presentation, I was pleasantly surprised. Kandagawa Jet Girls doesn't just look good when compared to other niche titles, it's just a great looking game, period. The cel-shaded character designs are beautiful and work well against the more realistic environments, showing off impressive lighting, reflections, and textures in both daytime and dusk environments. While there are a lot of identifiable landmarks like Akihabara, Ochanomizu, and Ichigawa to name a few, the canals you ride in often look fairly similar, with few notable exceptions. The way the camera spins around for different weapon attacks adds to the overall polished presentation. This isn't some groundbreaking AAA experience, but it definitely punches above its weight. The anime's soundtrack is put to good use here, resulting in a lot of action-packed music that adds intensity to the races and shifts to a more relaxed vibe for the visual novel sections. All characters are fully voiced in Japanese. Even though I didn't understand the language, the great intonations really help you to feel the emotion. For completionists, this isn't an overly punishing platinum trophy, but you'll really have to like the game since you'll be doing literally everything. I know that goes without saying, but seriously, you'll need to complete every single story event with a SSS rating. That's nearly 130 races, in addition to finishing each of the time trial races, all of the extracurricular minigames, and buying and equipping tons of the upgrades. You're looking at upwards of 20 hours to do everything, but since I had such a good time, I kept playing after the platinum to try new upgrades and beat my best times. Kandagawa Jet Girls sits among the very few good licensed games with a surprisingly well-told story, unique gameplay, and high-quality presentation throughout. It may skew a touch too easy, and I would have wanted more visual variety in the tracks, but the core racing is solid fun. Let's be honest, fans of the anime already have this game, but even for non-fans, you can jump in and have a great time, especially since there aren't many water-based racing games out there, and none with combat like this. Now, if you're looking for a deep racing sim, you should probably look elsewhere. But if you want some laid-back racing fun with solid presentation and cute anime girls, this licensed game is worth your time. Okay, there's Kandagawa Jet Girls. If you liked the video, hit like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want another game that you haven't played, check out my video right here. I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.